Okay, let's move on to our last segment of the night. We'll get to mayor's office on Wednesday. This is a editorial in The Hill from Nick Turner, who's now the executive director of the Vera Institute. And for full disclosure, I was an intern, one of the oldest in history, about 15 years ago. While in grad school, I was pursuing my master's in grad school. So I met Nick. I know Nick a very little bit. I doubt he would have any memory of my existence in his life, but hey, I just wanted to be honest. Okay, the title of this op-ed is, "By depending on police, Biden's gun violence plan will not make communities safer." No, it will not, but Joe can't help it. So let's get to this. Let's get to the op-ed. The Biden administration recently announced a federal strategy to address the rise of gun violence that grew during the COVID-19 pandemic. The primary recommendation is for state and local governments to use American Rescue funding to hire police officers. Boo, Joe can't help it. Although the plan does mention the funding can be used to support community violence intervention programs, summer employment opportunities, and community-based services, it fails to recognize that police are amply funded and that adding police will not make us safer. The science shows it, baby. Community violence interventions are woefully under-resourced, and urging investment in police to respond to crimes after the fact results in missed opportunities to prevent violence. Yes, Biden loves cops. He loves it. It was good for him in 1994 with the Violent Crime and Control Act. He was going to do it now. That's his thing. That's his jam. You can't get him off of it. Centrist/conservative Democrats like Biden can't get enough of the cops. They love them. And on top of it, as long as he keeps hiring more, he's hoping to get the FOP's votes. So, the rollout of the Biden plan, the article continues, the rollout of the Biden plan neglected to recognize the stressors of COVID-19 beyond economic loss. Communities that are under stress from years of disinvestment and systemic racism encountered widespread loss of life, debilitating illness, and the loss of connections and relationships that can keep violence at bay. These disruptions in relationships can create aftershocks in the health of communities, which makes the current situation different from the economic recession of 2008, when gun violence rates did not increase. Yes, and honestly, ladies and gentlemen, criminologists as a whole were shocked that the gun violence and violence in general, crime in general, did not see a massive increase in 2008 in line with the recession or depression we had then. Well, we know why. No, we don't. We don't really know why. Every criminologist trying to make a name for themselves has got it and understands it and knows it. They don't. They don't have a clue why it didn't happen. Right? This is different because of the economic instability of 2008 was bad. What you got multipliers here because you have economic instability, health instability, housing instability. Then you have the fear of the virus. Then you have Black and brown communities, inner city underserved communities hit the hardest by the virus. They have the worst access to health care, no insurance. It just compounds everything. That's why things are so bad now. And trying to lay it on, you could just all be solved by police, which is what Biden is mostly doing, is pretty sad, as Mr. Turner is pointing out. Let's get back to the last piece from the article. The pandemic laid bare chronic and systemic disinvestment in communities that are being hit the hardest by increased violence. Our investment in policing has not produced public safety, especially in black and brown communities, and we cannot expect more of the same to deliver different results. Instead, at all levels of government, we have the opportunity to adopt proven community-based solutions and prevent further gun violence. This is a strategy that Biden administration should champion so that people are truly safe from crime. Nope. I mean, first of all, Nick's right, 100%. The fact that you're going to get Biden to do that, impossible. Never. It is not his jam. It's not his thing. He's a conservative Democrat. His thing is to do what will ever get him another term in office. And he thinks by giving them more police, he'll win some of the conservative vote. And that, to him, that's more important than making real change in these communities. He's not a change maker. He's the exact opposite of a change maker. He's the status quo guy. Slightly different than what a mainstream Republican would do, but only within a certain limit. That's all Biden's good for. He's a hell of a lot better than Trump, but don't toss him to be good. He's good compared to the lowest, worst, most scumbaggy, corrupt president we've ever had in our entire lives. Entire country, probably. That doesn't make Biden like some kind of left-wing super champion of the poor. He is not that. And his plan to put more cops on the street is just going to put more black or brown people in prison and extend the school-to-prison pipeline issues. It's going to increase police violence on the streets. It's just rinse and repeat, like I said with Lori Lightfoot in the Greising interview. It's rinse repeat with Joe. This is nothing new from him. We should have expected this. It's sad, but that's what we got. But it was better than the alternative, not in the primary, but in the general. It was obviously better.